What was the score of the game thereafter? When the Dolphins subs were playing the Eagles subs, what was the score if you just cut it off right there? 17-0, take those 70 points, put them aside. What was the score thereafter?
It was terrible.
31-10.
31-10.
So that's why it's bothering me. Okay, yeah, the Dolphins went a specific way. Their coach chose to play their starters. And a good football Monday, everybody, here on Birds 365. Countdown is less than 2 weeks, 13 days until the season gets underway, and it can't get here fast enough for you guys and for us as well here at Birds 365. You got the Mac guys, McMullen and McDonald. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we start the show. Both Johnny and I put a bunch of guest requests out for guys to join us on the show today. I guess the embarrassing loss that the Philadelphia Eagles were handed down in Miami against the Dolphins has everyone running for cover because as of yet, we haven't been able to procure any guests for today's show. Everybody's in hiding with how bad that performance was.
I think it's more of exhaustion from being in 90 degree
from turning
heat.
their neck every time the Dolphins went into the end zone. Is that
by
that
the
what
way,
caused the exhaustion, John?
I always say I probably shouldn't. I'm not going to go down that route. But the Dolphins have a theme song that's basically, and I remember it as the Houston Oilers theme song. So for some reason, Houston Oilers, Houston, they had the same damn theme song. They had the same damn theme song, which I did not know, and I've been there before. I never noticed it before. I don't know. They played it so much that, it was ingrained, and it's a terrible song, Jody. It's a terrible song. And I don't like any theme except the Sixers. I like the Sixers theme song. I've always liked it. It's always stuck with me. I don't mind that one. And the old one that they brought back, they currently use. People know it. 10-9-8-76ers, blah, blah, blah. I can't stand the Eagles song because I hear it too much. It drives me insane. And now this one has luckily pushed the Eagles out of my mind. So at least I got that. So I have this stupid Miami Dolphins theme song reverberating. I can't get it out of my head, Jody. It's terrible.
Well, here's the good news. You won't have to hear it again this year because the Eagles don't play the Dolphins during the regular season. Now, if they were to play again this year, it would be a February game. I guess we'd be okay with that because the Eagles would be back in the Super Bowl. You don't have to worry about that theme song again this season. But if they played it over and over again and it got in your head, so be it. Maybe it got in the Eagles players' heads. I got a very easy way to stop the overplaying of a theme song. Don't let them continue to score touchdowns. Well, really easy, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, well, you're not gonna play your good players, so you just suffer through it, and it is what it is. It's not important, and by the way, it's not important for the few good things as well as all the bad things. I mean, the only potential starter who even dressed and played a little bit was Jordan Davis. And I don't know why they dressed Jordan Davis, to be honest, and he was just a cameo. Nobody else played. No Jalen Hurts, no Miles Sanders. Go up and down. 11 starters on offense. Nobody. Nothing. Nada. 11 starters on defense. If you want to consider Jordan Davis a starter, I think he's going to be a starter on September 11th. All right, 10 of 11, and he played like 7 snaps. That's it. Nobody was out there. What are you getting so? And I'm not talking about you, Jody. But
no, you can't talk about me because, I was ticked off. I was disappointed. I was unnerved.
Why?
And let me explain it to you why.
All right.
How much did the Eagles starters play? Nothing. How much did the Dolphins starters play? How many Dolphins starters were left on the field after the first quarter?
3 series, basically. Okay. Tua was out there.
So it was 17-0.
17-0.
They didn't come close to stopping them at any point in those 3 series. What was the score of the game thereafter? When the Dolphins subs were playing the Eagles subs, what was the score if you just cut it off right there? 17-0, take those 70 points, put them aside. What was the score thereafter?
It was terrible. It was
31 to 10.
31 to 10.
So that's why it's bothering me. Okay, yeah, the Dolphins went a specific way. Their coach chose to play their starters. He wanted to get him a little bit of action, get him in a mode for two different philosophies, two different teams, total protection, bubble wrap, as compared to, no, we're going to get our guys some run and see what they can do. And oh, by the way, they look damn good. Okay, that's fine. I get it. Advantage Dolphins. The Dolphins should have taken advantage. They did. Okay, now it's your subs against our subs. That was 31 to 10. Are the Eagles backups, so their subs that bad that they couldn't be competitive against the Dolphin subs?
Well,
it's been 20 years since the Dolphins won a playoff game here. We're not talking about they were playing the greatest team on turf second team. They're playing a Dolphin second team, and they got run off the field.
Well, certain positions, yeah, they don't have depth. The secondary, we've been talking about a lot. And then they didn't even address Zach McPherson, Jody, who can't play, to be honest. They didn't even address him. So they're down to the Mac McCains of the world, who's getting run past by Tyreek Hill's having the time of his life out there with Mac McCain and Kayvon Wallace. Yeah, I mean, secondary tight end we talk about. Running back, there's some issues. There's some depth issues. And you know, the NFL in many ways is a war of attrition. We all know that. And if you get the wrong injuries at the right spots, you could be in a lot of trouble in the Eagles, but that's every team. So I mean, I'm you know, I can't get worked up about it. It's that meaningless. And I tilt more towards this is more evidence that we shouldn't even be playing these games. They're a waste of time. They're a waste of time and energy. And by the way, it's kind of untoward that you're throwing out a bunch of crash test dummies. And I know that's harsh, but I've been calling them that for years because that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. Now, they have dreams and they want to show up and they want to make an NFL team, whether it's here or somewhere else. And you know, they're taking on this stuff, but for people that cry safety all the time, and you look at this and you turn your eye to that, those people are hypocrites because they only care about the safety of the good players, not the bad players.
Right. Exactly.
But they're incredible hypocrites. So you have all these moving parts. But yeah, I'm not getting upset about that. I can't. I couldn't work. You know who was upset a little bit because he's a very competitive guy, and that's Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, so as well he should be.
Yeah, he showed a little bit of frustration. But I mean, he's being unrealistic if he says, "Well, I expected more." Well, did you? Because I didn't. You know, if I saw Tyreek Hill run by Darius Slay like he wasn't there in practice. So, excuse me. If I'm not surprised, he doesn't have an issue with Mac McCain. I you know, if you expect, hey, Mac, go out there and check Tyreek Hill. I expect more. Well, that's on you, buddy. Sorry, that's on you.
Here's where I'm on the exact same page Nick was. And I just explained it to you. I'll explain it again for Nick Sirianni here. Okay, 17-0. Your starters against our subs. You kicked our ass. We get it. We chose a course of action. We're protecting our stars and starters. You're not. Good on you, 17-0. Wipe it off the board. Now our backups get to play against your backups, and you kick our ass continually? If I'm Nick Sirianni, yeah, I'm pissed off. Mac McCain, not good enough. Kerry Vincent, not good enough. Okay, they're not going to be on the team. They're going to get cut. Guess what? The Dolphins had a whole bunch of players who aren't going to be... Sorry, I'm getting all worked up.
Same thing. Yeah,
I know what you're saying. Guys who are going to get cut who are running wild against the Eagles the other day.
If you go all the way back to the preseason opener against the Jets, and you know they make me pick a winner for these games. I don't know why, but I picked the Jets because the Jets had the better third string quarterback, and turns out fourth string quarterback.
And he did it again yesterday against the Giants.
Yeah.
Stretcher for the win.
Thing. Look at their but so the Eagles starting quarterback was their backup. He was in there when Tua was in there. Then you're down to Reed Sinnett. They have Teddy Bridgewater as a second who arguably is a top 32 quarterback. You know, he'd probably be 31 or 32, but He's one of the better backup quarterbacks in the NFL. And then their third string quarterback is Skylar Thompson, who's a 7th-round pick, and he looks better than Reed Sinnett. And, look, the Eagles don't have a good third, fourth quarterback situation. So you're going to struggle offensively. You know that because you can't get some things. Now, I'm with you. There were certain guys on defense. You're like, what the heck are they doing? Davion Taylor has gone from, the first 2 weeks of camp, he looked great. And then the last 2 weeks, he looks so bad. I don't even know how you can turn the switch like that. You mentioned Kerry Vincent. I don't know what the heck he was doing all night. Tay Gowan. These were players. Remember pre-James Bradbury, every time Howie Roseman, Nick Sirianni showed up there, we love Mac McCain. We love Tay Gowan. Well, we love Kerry Vincent. Well, obviously you don't because, and you did the right thing by going out.
They may have at the time. Now evidence to the contrary.
Yeah.
Oops, we might have over-evaluated that player.
Yeah. So, I can't. As much as I'd like to get concerned about it, I can't. I mean, look at the guys who are showing up in Detroit in a couple weeks. The Lane Johnson of the world, the Jordan Miles, they're all sitting there. They had the picture of the whole offensive line sitting on the bench in street clothes. I mean, the A.J. Browns of the world, the Devontae Smiths, the Dallas Goddards. I can't. I don't care what Mac McCain does against Tyreek Hill. I don't care what Kayvon Wallace does against Tyreek Hill. And by the same method, everybody's getting Jedi mind tricked into Devin Allen. That's how I called it. And because he was good as a gunner and punt, and they need a gunner. But let me throw cold water on that, people. Miami's not game planning either. They don't even know who stinking Devin Allen is. If you put it on tape and somebody's getting there and you got it against a good team and you say a guy who hasn't played football in 6 years, hey, we're going to double team him. Yeah, he's going to run. Is he going to get off a double team in the NFL against good special teams players? I don't care about that either. So it's sort of both categories. It's like, why are we doing this? Let's go to college football. Practice, do your joint practices, show up for week 1 or week 0, whatever they call them in college football now, and play.
All right, couple of things. Number one, I'm kind of with you on Devin Allen. The Dolphin punter fumbled the ball. It wasn't like it was perfect timing and he jarred the ball. No, the guy muffed the punt. Devin Allen was down there. He was in the area. Maybe the guy heard him coming and saw him out of the corner of his eye. But he muffed the punt. It wasn't like...
Well, the fumble return is not even... The one before that, it was about a 58-yard punt, and Allen was right there for a 2-yard tackle for loss. That was the better play as a gunner. You're right. The fumble was just sort of, he botched it.
Right.
But he was there. And that's why people are getting excited. And they do need a gunner. But again, nobody knows who Devin Allen is. He's out there against third teamers. If somebody sees him on film and says, wow, that guy can really run, he's been creating an issue. You just put 2 guys on him. Is he going to get off 2 guys? Maybe. I don't know. But that's not valuable. That's not valuable to do that in that type of game. And that's kind of my point in both sides of it. So I don't know what Mike McDaniel's doing. I always say, I probably told you this before, Jody, back when preseason meant a little bit more. I always had 2 guys, Dennis Green, I remember, and Marv Levy. And Dennis Green was I'm out there. I'm going to try to win these games. He said winning's a habit, and therefore losing is a habit.
I agree with that.
And now he wasn't putting in first stringers to try to win the games at the end of the fourth quarter, but he was trying to win a game with the players he had out there. And then you had Marv Levy, who was the exact opposite. When Buffalo was going to all those Super Bowls, he'd get trounced. Take a look at some of those preseason scores. He wouldn't play anybody. He's looking for 3 or 4 players on the back end of his roster to make the best team possible. And they both worked. They were both really good coaches at the time. And you can have different philosophies. Maybe that helps the Dolphins. Maybe it gives them some confidence. But from the Eagles' perspective, I know what they're doing. They're not playing anybody. They don't value it. I can't get upset about it.
Okay. You mentioned Kayvon Wallace getting beat by Tyreek Hill in that first possession. Here's my question. JG, why is Kayvon Wallace covering Tyreek Hill? Well, why do you have a safety in coverage on the fastest man on the planet?
Well, that was zone. That was zone. He had already ran by Mac McCain. I mean, he ran by Mac McCain, and then Kayvon said after the game he gave him a 5-yard cushion. He still ran by him like he wasn't there. I mean, look, I talked to JG before Thursday's practice. He told me flat out. I mean, day one install. We're not doing anything. I mean, they're just running basic. What I said, if there was a flavor of ice cream more vanilla than vanilla, that was the Eagles. And that's why you're just throwing athletes out there and telling them to play. So it's not about game planning. That's the thing, Jody. Nobody, he's not putting stuff in for Tyreek Hill because Tyreek Hill is on the field in week 3 of the preseason, game 3 of the preseason. In a regular season, if you're playing the Dolphins or the Chiefs previously, your whole stinking game plan starts with Tyreek Hill. The whole thing. So again, not meaningful.
Fair enough. I gotta believe that your athleticism is challenged when a guy just runs by you. And you and I both believe Mac McCain will be an ex-Philadelphia Eagle in the next 48 hours. So
I don't know about that.
You think McCain's going to make the? Well,
no, I think he'll be back on. Yeah, he's not going to make the 53.
He's not going to make the 53. I don't think Kayvon Wallace should make the 53 either, but we'll see about that because he was a draft pick. And yeah, we're going to talk plenty about the roster because the cut down does come tomorrow afternoon in a second. But let me reiterate one more thing before we get in our first break. Let me again state that it's a good thing that the Detroit Lions are your opening game opponent. Some people, I think my partner included, have posited that no, you'd actually rather play Detroit later in the year when they don't know how bad they are yet. They'll have figured it out by then. Give them in the second half of the season, the first. Oh, no. You can say all you want about not caring and not preparing and playing their backups and don't worry about matchups. The Philadelphia Eagles don't look ready to start the season for me. I don't think that they're up to speed with the talent that they have, the roster that they have, to hit the ground running at 100%. 13 days from now in Detroit. I don't believe that. I think they can be better. They made a conscious decision to prep the way that they prepped. Vanilla light, not even vanilla. Vanilla light is what they're doing as far as coaching goes. Okay, add all those things up. That adds up to me not to 100%. And I would like to see my football team be at 100% week 1 to be ready. That they all count the same at the end of the season, all 17 games. You don't get 1.2% for a December win as compared to 0.08% for a September win. So they're all the same. So I think you should be at as damn close to 100%.
I'll throw in that I don't think anybody's at 100% week 1.
I think other teams are in a better position or closer to being 100% than the Philadelphia Eagles.
That's fair to say. Potentially, if they go about it a different way.
Exactly.
I do think playing Detroit week 10 when they realize they stink again would be easier than week 1. I still think the Eagles are going to win.
You're looking at it from a Detroit perspective. You got to look at it from an Eagle perspective. If the Eagles aren't at 100%, if you want to say nobody's at 100%, okay, other teams are 90, the Eagles are 80 because the Eagles have gone through their preparation in the preseason the way they are.
The two things aren't mutually exclusive. Finish the thought. I'm picking the Eagles to win the game already. They're going to out-talent the Lions. All I said, those two things are not mutually exclusive. I think it would be easier against the Lions in week 10 when they know they stink than when they're fighting and clawing in week 1 on their home opener when everybody's got optimism and everybody's excited going a million miles an hour. I just think it's for that particular team, it would be easier later in the season to play them. Doesn't mean the Eagles are going to lose the game. They're going to out-talent them. And that's the thing about the Eagles. I've been talking about their coaching staff for a while. I don't know how good this coaching staff is, but they're going to out-talent a lot of people. And they're going to out-talent a lot of people.
John, it's when you say their coaching staffs, you have to say the organization. Because I think the coaching staff has been directed to handle business since they had their first day of minicamp to do things in a certain way. I don't believe Nick Sirianni is controlling everything. I think he's controlling a lot, but I think there are organizational philosophies that are evident with this team, and I don't agree with all of them. And I think they could be better prepared for week one. And I stand by it's a good thing they're playing the Lions, because if it came down to just, well, we got to out-talent someone week one, yeah, let me out-talent the bad team. Let me get off to a win. Rather than playing the Green Bay Packers week one, I'd rather be playing the Detroit Lions.
I agree wholeheartedly with that. I've been saying for months, I don't care how many times Nick Sirianni tells me. I see him get frustrated. I know how competitive he is. I don't care how many times he tells me he's on board with all this, safety stuff and short practice. I don't believe it. I'll never believe it. That is an organizational decision. I've said that for over a year. I've been saying that. So that part of it, but I'm talking, and I've said it before. I'm talking scheme wise, and a lot of people don't like Jonathan Gannon. Nick seems to get more of a pass, but I'm talking both sides of the football. I don't know how great they are. I said all the time about innovation. That's what I was sold when they came here. All I don't see much innovation. I see plenty of good things. I see them taking advantage of the talent they have offensively, where at least I saw it last year. We'll see if it'll continue this year. I see, the philosophy of Jonathan Gannon, which makes sense to me. All that I see. But, this team does things pretty simply. And when you do things simply, it's not necessarily bad, but you're relying on talent. And they have the talent to out-talent a lot of people. And that's why I have optimism for this team. And by talent, I mean 1 through 33, because that's how many people didn't dress. I don't mean 33 to 53. So if you get wrong injuries at those right spots that I said, then you might be in some trouble, because the depth did not look good, to say the least.
I appreciate the sentiment of Steven Jackson on our stream here. Us playing the Lions week one might be the reason our starters didn't play in yesterday's game. That will be the official preseason for the Philadelphia
they could have been playing the Super Bowl stinking champions, and they weren't going to be playing in week 3. And that's an organizational philosophy. They could be playing the Rams in week 1. Nobody would have played. Would have played.
But that's the level of talent the Lions are. You can get into your preseason, your actual hit the ground jogging rather than running week 1 and still be able to beat the Lions. He's John McMullen. I'm Jody McDonald. We are the Mac and Mac guys here on Birds 365. Come back, we'll get a little bit more in depth on John McMullen's 53. It is cut down day tomorrow in the National Football League. Maybe it's going to be easier than we thought for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Some guys absolutely.
Well, I said, before that game, here's the difference. And I know we got to get the break, so I'll just say that. Before that game, I was finding it hard to cut to 53. After that game, I was finding it hard to get to 53. I wanted to dump everybody. So I had to get to 53. Not cut down to 53.
Counting down and counting up. Yes, maybe the task changed for Nick Sirianni and his coaching staff. Oh, and did I leave Howie Roseman out? My apologies, Howie. We know you are the man who is going to be more influential in putting the first. I like the way John says it.
Let me
original
add way
53.
More. Yeah. Way more influential. Let me add that in. way more influence.
Agreed. McDonald and McMullen, your Birds 360 Mac guys here on Birds 365.